M7 is now finally out, and they did some massive changes to Floor 7 as well, making it a lot easier to play as a team. Though this is really good, it leaves one big issue for Hypixel Skyblock's favorite weapon, the Hyperion. Hyperion prices have taken a huge hit, hitting their lowest price of around 680 million coins for a Hyperion. While this may still sound like a lot, the Hyperion was at 1 billion coins no less than about a couple weeks ago. This leaves a couple big questions. Why is the Hyperion dropping in price? Will the Hyperion ever recover? And should I sell my Hyperion now? Or will it potentially be one of the most useful weapons in the next upcoming update? In this video, I plan to try to answer every single one of those questions to the best of my ability, hopefully help you decide if you should keep your Hyperion or cut your losses. But before we do get started with today's video, guys, if you have seen videos by me in the past, or you do end up enjoying today's video, or it ends up helping you out, please do consider leaving a like and subscribing. It helps out the channel so much more than you think. I know I always say this, but it's absolutely true. And I know I don't really deserve it. It's been 2 months since I've last uploaded, but like I always say, subscribing is always free. And if I ever take another 2-month break or I start making trash videos, you can always unsubscribe later. With that all out of the way, if you guys do have any questions for me, want to know what resource pack I'm using, or you want to know what mods I'm using, you can join the channel's official Discord server where there's download links for the latter. Not only that, but we're hosting a 10 million coin giveaway in the Discord server right now. We'd love it if you joined. The link will be in the description as always. Lastly, there's going to be timestamps in the time bar below if you want to skip to any part of this video that's more prevalent to you, but I know you didn't just sit here to listen to me beg for subs, so let's get started with the actual video. One of the first major questions a lot of people are going to be asking is why exactly is the Hyperion going down in price? I mean, after all, this weapon is fantastic for doing dungeons, doing a lot of Slayer bosses, and is also considered one of the best healing items in the game. Unfortunately, there's actually a lot of reasons for Hyperion going down, and they all happen to happen around the same time as well. The first and most major reason for the Hyperion dropping is going to be the release of M7 and the huge update to Floor 7 as a whole. To make this extremely simple, a lot more people are playing M7 in Floor 7, and there's a huge influx of people. The Necron's handle is dropped in Floor 7, which is the primary component in making the Hyperion. With more people playing Floor 7, more Necron's handles are being dropped, more Hyperions are being made, and with more Hyperions, this results in a decrease in value for the weapon. Over the last couple of months, Floor 7 simply hasn't been that great of a dungeon floor to play due to the fact that master mode floors are just better. But now guess what? There's a master mode Floor 7, and not only does it have a better chance of dropping a Necron's handle than a normal Floor 7, but it also gives the highest XP of any floor in the game. This absolute increase in supply is going to simply make it so there's more Hyperions in total, and one of the primary reasons for the price going down. This gets me into my second point for why the Hyperion is going down, and that is panic selling. And this is a huge one. Panic selling happens when a lot of people freak out at the same time in the devaluing of an item. A lot of really smart people that have the Hyperion know that M7 and Floor 7 got changed, and so many more people are going to be playing it. Literally the reason I just stated before. And because of this, a lot of people were panicking to get this weapon onto the age and sell it as fast as possible in order to save themselves as much money as they could, in the idea that it will continue to decrease. This is very, very obviously one of the biggest reasons for the price decrease of the Hyperion, because to put it simply, F7 and M7 have only been out for a couple of days. And like I said before, the Necron's handle is an extremely rare drop, meaning overall there probably hasn't even been that many new Necron's handles on the AH. The majority of the price decrease for Hyperion have simply been people panic selling their Hyperions. There's also a little bit more evidence to support this, as panic selling generally only causes a temporary decrease, as a lot of people are flooding the market all at once, and then the price generally begins to recover. It's a little bit evident here because at the current moment, the lowest bin for Hyperions is 725 mil, whereas the lowest they actually hit was, I think, yesterday at 680 mil. And I understand that's only about a 50 mil difference in price, but that is a sign that the Hyperion is actually starting to go back up in price and panic selling is starting to slow down. The third reason for all of this is the huge change to Final Destination armor and Void Gloom tier 4s as a whole. To make this extremely simple, the Hyperion is one of the best healing weapons in the game, and Void Gloom tier 4s were ridiculously hard. This made it so to do Void Gloom tier 4s, you basically needed a Hyperion in order to heal. Recently, they've actually buffed Final Destination armor and made it extraordinarily good for doing Void Glooms again, and now it is totally possible to survive without having a Hyperion. And this just leaves another big reason for a lot of people selling their Hyperions, as a lot of people doing Void Gloom tier 4s sold their Hyperions off as well. Last and final important reason with Hyperion prices going down was also due, unfortunately, to duping. About a month ago, I'd say, there was a big dupe in the game where you could literally just copy any item on the AH. And unlike other dupes which just add a ton of money to the economy, this is really bad for the values of particular items. Well, a lot of people actually duped these high ticket items like Warden's Helmet and Hyperion, and unfortunately both of them saw a pretty mild but still somewhat significant decrease in price. And I personally feel like this is the fourth and final reason for why the Hyperion has gone down in price. Now that we know why the Hyperion's going down in price, a lot of people may be asking the question, well, will the Hyperion ever recover? I mean, after all, there's a huge influx in people playing floor 7 and M7, and people are only going to get stronger and stronger gear later and later, and there's only going to be more and more Hyperions in the market. Not only that, but Void Glooms are now completely possible to do without a Hyperion, so really, where does this leave the Hyperion? There's a couple really important things to keep in mind. Even though all of these new things have actually made the Hyperion's price decrease, the update for floor 7 and the addition of M7 are actually huge for the Hyperion, while also being at the same time quite bad for it. The reason that is because floor 7 at this very moment is still played at its best with Hyperion mages. They're extremely important for the game, and even though Hyperion mages are not very good in master mode floor 7, Hyperions are still virtually needed for fast runs in floor 7. And so overall, with the influx of players playing floor 7, after all of the panic selling's over, I actually do predict the price of the Hyperion is going to go back up significantly in price as more people are playing floor 7. And M7 is also another really important thing. The Hyperion is literally one of, if not the best healing items in the game, and at the current moment, people are actually struggling to do M7, which means that every single person playing M7 and basically every single person playing floor 7 is going to need a Hyperion. And so overall, for the price of the Hyperion, this is actually huge. And I think after all of the panic selling going on in the game right now, the Hyperion, like I said before, is going to have a nice increase in price as more people are going to want it for floor 7. But oh wait, there's more. One of the biggest combat updates we have ever seen, the Nether update, is actually coming out within the next couple of weeks, likely. I don't know, I've said that before and it didn't happen, but like, it's actually coming out. And not only that, but we've seen a brand new leak today showcasing at least a boss, if not a brand new Slayer for Skyblock. And like I stated before, the Hyperion was next to needed for Void Glooms. This is absolutely huge. The Hyperion may end up being required for the upcoming Nether update. And because of this, the Hyperion may even see a huge steep increase in price as more people are going to need the Hyperion for the Nether update. And so really, this is all good news because not only has the supply gone up for Hyperion, but also has the demand. And in the next coming months, I predict that the Hyperion will probably be a very consistent price, and if not go up from its price tag that it's at this current moment. Now, with all that being said, the future of the Hyperion genuinely looks good. The demand for the Hyperion is probably going to increase, and so will the supply. And this is great because even if the Hyperion goes up or down in price, it's still going to be one of the most useful weapons in the game and still worth having even if you're extremely rich. But I do kind of want to put my own opinion on where the price is going to go for the Hyperion. And overall, I think in the long term, the price for the Hyperion is probably going to go down. The thing is, Master Mode Floor 7 has consistently better drops for Necron's handles, and not only that, but as the days go on, more and more people are able to complete M7 by the day. And this is going to continue to rise over and over. And once this floor gets extremely efficient, it's going to be the best floor for getting Catacombs XP as well. So people are not only going to be grinding this floor for Catacombs XP, but also the potential money made on a Necron's handle. Luckily, I honestly think it's going to take a long time for this to happen, and at the moment, the Hyperion is still one of the best weapons in the game. There's no questions about that. Now, the final question that people are going to be asking about the Hyperion is, should I sell my Hyperion or should I keep it? And to be completely honest, I can't really answer that question for you. I'm going to tell you right now, out of personal opinion, I'm going to be completely keeping my Hyperion. In the future, it's only going to become more and more useful, especially with the upcoming Nether update. It's going to be really important. And if you've got a lot of money lying around and you're really excited for the new Nether update, the Hyperion is probably going to be one of the most important items in the update. I highly do not recommend selling it. Although, If the Hyperion does make up a lot of your net worth, or you do plan on honestly not playing the Nether update and combat isn't really the most exciting thing for you, then maybe you're going to want to consider selling the Hyperion, as I honestly don't see it long-term going up in price anymore, as it has in the past. Generally, due to the fact that no one played Floor 7 because of its low Catacombs XP, Hyperions were really steady and basically consistently went up. Nowadays, a lot more people are going to be playing M7 and Floor 7, and so I honestly think the opposite is going to be true with the Hyperion, whereas instead of consistently going up in price, the Hyperion is going to start consistently going down in price. It's kind of unfortunate to think about, but one really fortunate thing is, like I said before, the Hyperion is going to be insanely useful for the next couple of updates. So whether it goes up or whether it goes down, I really honestly highly recommend those with the expendable income keep the weapon. It's probably going to be one of the best choices you can make for the next upcoming update. And the Hyperion is still one of the most useful weapons in the game, with or without the Nether update, still being extremely useful for Tarantula Slayers, Floor 7s, Void Glooms, and really anything that requires healing or splash damage. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope all of you that watched this video enjoyed it and it helped you make a decision on whether you're going to keep the Hyperion, or at least informed you in what the future of the weapon looks like. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video once again, or it did end up helping you out, please do consider leaving a like and subscribing. It helps out so much. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.